Hi, welcome to For the Culture Canada, the center point of art and entrepreneurship. Today I have a guest that you may have seen on Instagram quite a lot. He's got a lot of activity going on there, and he draws a lot of attention to his music and his whole profile. And he seems to be actually quite into the music and art scene in our local BC area, which is super sick. I'm of course talking about Dylan SwayzeAck, also known as SwayzeAck.
Yeah, you know you got me moving and grooving. It's so amusing the way you're moving your body. You got me pursuing. No confusion.
So welcome to the show, man.
What's good? Thanks for having me. Appreciate the hospitality.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for being a part of the show, man.
Of course.
Tell me, how you been? How your holidays been?
Man, holidays have been good. It feels good to be back with the family, surrounding yourself with other loved ones. And it's been a minute since I've been home. It's been about 9 months, so it's good to get back on the home ground and stomping grounds here, so it's nice.
Right, you've been in Vancouver for the meantime, right?
Yeah, I've been in Vancouver for 9 months. Yeah, I took off back in March 1st. I think I moved out there, so I've been grinding out there since.
Okay.
Yeah.
Before we get into all that, I wanted to get into your past a little bit.
Absolutely.
So, where were you born? Where'd you grow up?
Yeah, so I was actually born in Vancouver, BC.
Okay.
My mama had me when she was young, about 20 years old, and we moved back to Kelowna after like a couple months of me being there. So I actually grew up here in Kelowna.
Right.
Did most of my schooling all the way up to like probably grade 5, grade 6, until I went to Calgary for a year when my dad got his teaching degree. They hated the weather out there, so we moved back pretty quickly.
Right.
And I finished off my high school up on the west side at Mount Boucherie.
So you've been all over the place.
Been all over the place, man. It's been crazy. And then, once I graduated from there, I took off for 4 years to Calgary because I thought that's the place to be.
Right.
Did some stuff out there and came back, and now I'm in Vancouver past 9 months.
Oh, I see. Why'd
Yeah.
you move to Vancouver?
Really, Vancouver for me was just the... I don't know. I came to a point where I knew that the last 2 years in Kelowna before I moved to Vancouver, I was trying to give this my music career an actual try. But
Right.
As I'm sure you're aware, that the Kelowna scene here is like it's climbing and it's building for sure. But Vancouver is the place to be right now for me to sort of get exposed and get my music out there for sure. So
Sure.
just took the leap of faith.
Sure. Yeah, that makes sense. And what were you doing before music?
Before music, I've done everything under the sun, man. Like it's a little bit of a different story for you. My biological father wasn't around when I was younger. He was a musician. He was a phenomenal musician, but I was pushed into sports growing up.
Right.
And so I did a lot of sports growing up, soccer, football, basketball, the whole thing. But because I dabbled in everything, I wasn't professional at anything type of thing, but definitely enjoyed sports. When I came into music was actually when I was 18 and I was in Calgary. I just learned the art of freestyling through a good homie of mine, Keston Ross.
Right.
I was working at the gym at the time. So I've worked at the gym, worked at the bank, started a few companies of myself, failed a few companies of my own, but it's just all learning lessons and kind of led me into who I am today and why I wanted to just sort of pursue music as like, my day one, like game one.
Right. Why music thoe?
Because I used to do a lot of public speaking when I was younger. I used to be in leadership. I used to do acting too, and performing has always been something for me that's been so good. Music has always come easy to me, but I never had the confidence in myself to believe that music was my outlet of expression until I really got in my vibe in Calgary for it and I saw it was something I could actually do. Funny story, I was working at the bank at the time, Scotiabank as a teller, and I used to freestyle I used to work in the downtown core in our main head office, and a lot of the business guys on Friday would come down from our corporate levels up top, and I used to freestyle with them when they'd come to my teller, and then they would love it, but my boss would be like, you can't fucking do that, you can't be doing that, like it's not that even they might love it, but the 90-year-old lady beside you is going like, where am I right now?
Right.
So I ended up making like a pun song about Scotiabank. I was like, multi-platinum advisors helping you grow your money tree and stuff like that. I made a song. And then, I ended up performing at all our Best of the Best celebrations, and it became sort of a kind of like, okay, maybe I can do this type of thing.
Right.
And then, so when I moved back, when I was 23, early 23, I moved back to Kelowna, and then last 2 years I did a few singles and stuff like that, and it just, from there, kept climbing.
Right. Okay. And so, you did drop a couple of singles, and then you dropped your album. When was that? That was last year, correct?
Yeah.
Or this year?
It was this August I dropped it. I used to work with Adam at
Arc House.
Arc House Studios. That's it, 100%. Yeah, so back in the day I I did a few singles with Clive Fagan, who's been working a lot with Tion Gibbs right now in Vancouver. We
Yeah,
did a
Clive just put out his Christmas song.
Christmas song, yeah, and it's so good, yeah. Like he's been on the vibe. So I worked with Clive at Joey Kelowna here. That's how I met Clive, and we did a few things in the like some freestyles in the car and stuff like that. And we always wanted to make music, so. Him, I, and Zach Sosa, known as Dr. Seuss out here. He's just getting back into the music game a little bit, but talented individual. We all made a song, If You Know.
Yeah.
And that was kind of my first single that we did. It was awesome. I had a great time with them. And then I did my own single and then came out with that was pretty much it for Kelowna for me. And then when I got to Vancouver, I actually went to Thailand. Let's bring it back a little bit. When I left Kelowna, my plan was I was going to go to Thailand in January, which I ended up going. Went for 2 months out there. Dope. Did a lot of goal setting for myself. I went out there and just sort of wanted to really just give myself some goals to meet. And one was dropping my album, doing a music video, doing a few singles. So when I got out to Vancouver, connected with the right people, got my album dropped in August, and it's been incredible, man. Like the amount of people out in Vancouver that have the passion to just want to expand and collaborate and work. The arts is so accepted out there. It's insane. Like such a different vibe. So definitely been a journey, but now here we are.
Yeah, no, definitely. Like the cool thing about Vancouver is that it is so it's such a hub for Western Canada in terms of like the artist concentration over there. You know, it's really wonderful that we have so many people that are wanting to get into all that, you know.
For sure.
But I wanted to also, before we get into like your style of music and like the contents of it, what were your influences when you were growing up? What kind of music did you like?
So obviously, like, I think it's standard, but like Eminem was a huge influence for me growing up. I used to, like, I don't know, I just got this guy that was just so talented and he had this flow. Like, the difference is that he definitely holds in a lot of anger and a lot of repression and stuff like that, but it's just I loved him coming into more like I used to listen to Lil Wayne, 50 Cent back in the day, obviously Biggie and Tupac, but they weren't the biggest influences on me, to be honest with you. It was more like Eminem, like the Young Money type thing, and then obviously Drake coming through was huge influence for me. Nowadays, like Joyner Lucas, G-Eazy, Logic, NF. I don't know if you heard of NF. He's a Michigan rapper, up and coming, very good. He's a Christian rapper though, but it's like his music's, he was opening up for Logic when he was coming through this tour, and like so just amazing artists. So definitely look up to people like that for sure. Right. That makes a lot of sense. Okay, dope. Did Kanye influence you at all? Yeah, definitely. Oh, obviously, yeah, for sure. His Graduation album was like one of the iconic moments for when I sort of jumped on board with everything he was doing, and like obviously, I love how he is very outspoken, but like, you know, he's 100% himself, and he does a whole bunch of stuff for the culture himself. So I definitely fuck with him. He's cool for sure. Sure. Yeah. No, I love Kanye's music, man. Like, man, I've been listening all over the place. Like 808s and Heartbreaks. I've been listening to College Dropout all over again. Listening to like Yeezus is a great album. I frankly think that album is underrated as hell. What was the album called? When like Father Stretched My Hands and Life of Pablo. Life of Pablo was definitely an impactful point in my life. I listened to that nonstop for a while when that came out. That was pretty cool. I think that seemed to capture like streetwear aesthetic on a sonic level really, really well. That's what straight up, yeah. You know, I remember when it hit, I'm just like, this fits so perfectly into the mold of what is happening right now. Yeah. And it just seemed to solidify to me his whole brand when it came to like his Yeezy wear, like all of the like 100%. All the clothing and everything like that, and the aesthetic of the Pablo merch and everything. I still see people rocking that shit, including myself. And man, Kanye fucking did it with that album. He does. It's a weird album though, but it's great. No, I'm into it for sure. I definitely fuck with it. He's just his music, like the way he can like make sounds from voices into melodies and things like that. Like the way he tune stuff, and he's so creative. He's such a shepherd in like the music producing and stuff like that. Like I remember, what was that one he did live once with maybe it wasn't Life of Pablo, but there was this, I don't know if it was the Grammys or something, but he stood on stage and is there a song called like Love Something or
There's a lot of love in Kanye's.
But it was one of his songs, and he just stood up there with like a track pad, a DJ pad, and he just started making music and beats and all that stuff, just live in front of everyone. That's when it showed me, I'm like, this guy, okay, he's multi-talented for sure. Like, this guy's got a lot going on. So
yeah, no, he really breathes and lives through those, like, you know, all the hardware that he has. Yeah, for sure. All those drum machines and synths and everything. That guy's crazy. So your music, your album that I've been listening to, it kind of deals with a lot of the very like real and relatable situations that people can get through in Kelowna or in Vancouver or just even all over the place, you know, like a lot of people, you know, like whether it be relationships or whether it be just self-confidence and everything like that. So what were you drawing your inspiration from when it came to writing that album?
I think when it just comes to my music, like, I feel very strongly that some people do rap and hip hop just because it's cool or because they think it's like it's the next best thing, and like I find that, so what they find is they follow these trends of, they make music how other people are making music. For me, I definitely don't have that regular hip hop type style. Mine is definitely more the positive, more the motivational type thing, and I'm pulling from self experiences. Like, if you know me as an individual, you'll know that I'm the most optimistic person in the world. I always think the best in people. I'm very motivated. I follow my dreams. Because of that, my life's pretty good. Like, I count myself very lucky because of that. I manifest a lot of things in my life, and I just want to preach to people that that's kind of what you can do, like, and to be okay with myself. Like, I'm not a guy that's slinging bricks in the trap house. I'm a young white boy from suburban Kelowna that grew up with a good family support, but just understood that my parents also were the 9-to-5 people that preached that I needed to do that, and through my life that challenged me and stopped me from following some of my dreams because I wanted to either impress my parents growing up or do them right, and just sort of realized at a certain age that it's what I want to do, and following my dreams and being okay with that, and understanding that not a lot of people are going to understand that but you, and you're the only one in life to get you through that stuff. So if I can connect with people in that sense and be like, listen, whatever you got your mind on, saying I say that's so funny is that, like, when I meet people, it's I want to know your passion, and if you're passionate about shoveling shit, tell me about it, because everyone is passionate about something, but like, that's all I want to know. I don't care what you're passionate about, but if you can really connect with me in the sense like, this is what I love, that's the type of people I like to fuck with. And I feel like that my music is trying to just pump out being yourself, be who you are, and be okay with that, because everyone struggles through insecurities and shit growing up. I did more than anybody for sure too, and I just, once you really open your eyes to what the world's actually about, I live my life a lot better, and I feel a lot better about it, and I hope I can just translate that through my music. Yeah,
that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, absolutely. Was there anybody in particular you had in mind when writing all that stuff?
To be honest with you, just myself. Like, I literally, all these experiences from, like, my track Freedom is like when I went through all my financial troubles in my life. Like, I filed for bankruptcy at the age of 23. Like, that's something a lot of kids don't go through at that age, and it was just because a few companies I did were sole proprietorships, weighed on a lot of my own financials, and like, I never went to business school. I just knew that I wanted to be my own boss, or I wanted to do something for myself, and it ended up being a good learning lesson in life for sure. And I take that, and I just want people to know that people go through that. Here I am. Like, to some people, like, people that know me for sure, like, they see my Instagram, they see all the stuff, and they see the change. But people that don't know me might think that my life's just like this fairy tale great thing, and it's not. I want to try to connect with my fans in the sense that I'm just like you. I'm no different than you. I have a family just like you. I've gone through the struggles just like you. The only difference possibly is that I'm chasing my dreams. Yeah. Now let's get you to that level too. Like, let's motivate you to understand that you can do whatever the fuck you want in life. And like, that's where music gives me that platform to be that type of person, and be that for people, and hopefully lead them into that type of vision.
Yeah, absolutely. What kind of struggle do you go through on a daily basis? Or what are the things that kind of, like, you don't obviously have to go too deep into this, 100%. But like, what do you find is like a struggle for you in like the time and place that you're at right now?
For me, it's now understanding that there's a lot of people in my life that, do you know what? Let me rephrase that. It's hard for me to now turn away people. I'm at a point in my life where I'm very selfish. I'm focused on my own dreams right now, and I have to disconnect from a lot of people, like a lot of negative entities in my life that aren't negative entities, but they're not the people that are pushing me towards my dreams, and I need to surround myself with people that are 100% that. So yes, I have my have my people that I go out with, and I have my people that do that. But like my core 30, I call it. Like those people are people that are so supportive and so motivating. And I think the hardest thing is really like tiering your people around you. Like who are my mains, who are not, and like that's hard for me because I'm a very loving person. I want everyone to be my friend, and I want to be friends with everyone. I want them to feel comfortable with me, but I got to learn that I can't. I got a lot to focus on myself, and I feel like I struggle with being okay to say no, I guess.
Yeah.
To focus on myself a little bit more, be a little bit more selfish.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Okay, sure. Yeah. And when it comes to like current like music right now, you have a show coming up, a fairly big show at the Biltmore Cabaret. What is that? Like early January, right?
Yeah, January 4th at the Biltmore Cabaret. I'm going to be putting on my first sort of book gig. I got on with a booking company, and yeah, so this is like kind of my first full thing as an artist, making me feel pretty in it. It feels pretty cool, to be honest with you. And tickets have been on sale for a while. You can definitely check the link out in my bio on Instagram. But it's going to be a good one. People have been waiting for sure. I think when I moved to Vancouver, I was at first it was a lot of talk. It was like people. I always rep myself 100%. There's like I'm not ashamed of who I am or what I do. But a lot of people need that validity, and I think over the past year I've shown that I can do this. I've dropped an album, they listen to my music, they love it. But what they haven't seen is what I truly believe I am, and that's a performer. And so I'm excited for me to get up on that stage and let loose and just let these people see my passion behind my words. I want them to feel every word. And I'm excited to just express that. I think it's going to really open the gate for people to kind of just completely get the belief behind them as well.
Sure. Yeah. So what's your experience been like in playing live?
Live, for me, that's my drug. I love it. I've been one of those kids since day one that loves the center of attention, love to be in the spotlight. I did a little bit of dabbling in acting when I was younger, but it just wasn't my vibe, because I think for the fact of being is that it's hard to pretend to be someone else.
Sure.
And I think that people like do it's definitely a skill, but for me, I get to be exactly who I am on stage without any fault or hold back. And just having that ability to go on there. So for me, being on stage is very, very natural for me. It's just me being myself, and I get excited for it. Obviously, you get those little butterflies before you go on, but I think that just means you're doing the right thing. And I perform like Elevate Kelowna was where we created that event, but it was also a place for me to get exposed as well. So I performed there a few times, Portside Pub in Vancouver when I first, before I went to Thailand, and then came back and did a few shows just around the city. And now I'm ready for this. This is going to be a big start for 2019 for sure.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. Are you mostly just playing all the music that's already been released? Are you going to be premiering any new music?
No. I do got a new single on the go right now, but it's going to be all my music that's released right now, plus my new single that just dropped back in November 22nd, You Don't Know Me. And so it's about a half an hour set. Been practicing my ass off. I gotta tell you, every day I've been trying to get this set down fast. So I'm excited to show everybody. I'm ready. I'm ready for this.
Sick. I'm psyched to hear it, man.
Yeah, it's gonna be good.
By the way, I didn't remember to ask you this at the beginning of the whole show. Yep. Where did your name come from, SwayzeAck? Yeah,
so when I was going through school, a lot of, like, my last name is SwayzeAck. So I don't know, a lot of people just call me Swayze. Like, I don't know why it came to that, but Patrick Swayze, I guess, was probably a big influence.
Sure.
I used to get called Swayze all the time, and so when I came to deciding who I wanted to be called by, SwayzeAck just sort of came into terms, and I feel like it was a good fit, and I'm happy I picked that for sure.
Sure. You're aware that there's also an electronic duo named SwayzeAck?
SwayzeAck, I know, and it was so funny when I first started posting my music online. I came across that as myself as well, and some people actually think that they're like, oh, is this you? And I'm like, no. So sorry, not that type, but it's okay. It's gonna be fine. I represent myself. Got that E in there.
Right. Do you think that you'd like want to change that at all later?
If it came to a point where this guy is going big and is causing problems, and never know, but I think it's different and it sounds different. So
sure. I mean, like, it doesn't really matter how big you get, because at some point, if there's any sort of contention with your name or whatever, sometimes people are obligated to change. Like, for example, Rich Chiga, he got a lot of there was a lot of contention based on the Chiga part of it, so he changed it over to Rich Brian, which some people, I don't know how you personally feel about that. I'm just sort of like whatever works for him. I personally don't See, I am not of the black community, like in the sense of like I'm not black. I'm an Indian dude. I'm not necessarily like Asian. I'm not like Indonesia. I'm not from Indonesia, just like Brian is. But so personally, I'm not really affiliated in any sort of way. So I was pretty like it could go either way with
Biased,
me. But
yeah.
Rich Brian still, that's a good name. Honestly,
Rich Brian,
it's
yeah.
endearing in my opinion, based on what his personality is like. But yeah,
For sure. Did you hear about like rest in peace Mac Miller, but like they Easy Mac, who is now in Vancouver. It can't like easy like Mac Miller was called Easy Mac back in the day, and there was this feud that they got in. It's not a feud, but just like there was an interview where you hear Easy Mac being like, yeah, there's this rapper out of Calgary that has the same name, but like he doesn't care, so on and so forth. Like it was like
Oh,
you
shit.
can have it type of thing.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
so like I find that like obviously your name is your brand and everything like that.
yeah.
If it came down to it, I'd probably fight for it for SwayzeAck for sure. Like I think that's
Yeah.
definitely me, but like cross that bridge when it gets to it type of thing.
To be honest, I would argue that like your music and your face is your brand more so than your name, because like
100%.
it's not like Rich Brian lost his fan base because he changed his name to it.
And that's totally true. Totally true.
Like there's let's say for example, the band Him.
Him, no.
Oh, I see. Him is this like sort of. Do you know what a heartogram is? Heartogram?
Yep.
Yeah. They that's their image, the heartogram. Him has the heartogram, and I'm pretty
Okay.
sure there was already a band. See, these guys are from Europe. Like, I'm not sure what part of Europe. I don't remember anymore. But back in the like early to mid 2000s, when they were coming over to the States, they had to change the branding to Her because there's already a Him in the States.
Yo, that.
Yeah. So like, yeah, I don't necessarily think that like your name is your brand. I think that it's more so the music in your face that would
I
carry it
appreciate that,
through.
for
I
sure,
don't
for
think
sure.
you'd lose any any fans at all if you changed your name from SwayzeAck to whatever you wanted.
I don't think so. I don't think I would either.
Unless
to
it
be
was
honest with you.
incredibly offensive, but
Yeah, straight up. Yeah, no, I definitely agree with you in what you're saying for sure. The only thing that holds me back is just my feels towards it for sure. Like
Yeah.
I love it for sure, but I'm when it comes down to it for sure, I don't think it's gonna come down to something like that. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
yeah, dope. That's
But,
crazy.
No, it's cool too. Like I feel like I feel for the first time in my life too, after so long, like I've rebranded myself so many times in terms of just what I'm doing in life. Like I find it funny, like my friends have always been so supportive in whatever I do for sure, but I've done a lot of things. I've gotten them to want to, when I was opening Elevate Kelowna, they're all like, I was pushing them at Facebook page for them to go like that stuff, and then I was opening my landscaping company. I wanted them to go like that stuff. And then
Yo,
when I
what's explain for the people what Elevate is?
Elevate Kelowna, when I was first becoming first coming up in the music game, I just realized that in Kelowna there's not much place for young entrepreneurs, young musicians, and young artists to get exposed in this community. So I wanted to create an event that was, in my mind, going to be once a month, where it was a 5 to 6 hour event where you get to perform live throughout the day while these people come through from the community to see young companies showcase their stuff, see young artists showcase their art, but then also get live performances as well. And January 15th, 2015, I think was the first one we did. And then we did one again in April of 2016 or something like that. I can't get the dates 100%, but it was good. I just had too big of a vision for it right now. I went all in, put a little too much money down, and not enough people showed up for it yet. So it was...
Yeah, you'd require a lot of capital for that, because like concerts don't even necessarily go for that long.
No.
That'd be like almost a mini festival, and to have that every single
Exactly.
month, the capital for that would just be so huge. I could totally see why maybe, for somebody so young, it couldn't like be as big as you wanted it to be.
100%. And then me without any education business wise, I'm just like sort of being like, as I go, here we go, let's try this, throw this in here. And then at the end, you're like the first one we broke even on, which was so nice. Like we just hit it, like we paid off a bill. But the second one was we couldn't do it. We went too big, and like obviously the people that came out and everyone that had it was so amazing. Like we had great performances and we had a pull through for sure, and it was busy for sure, but it just wasn't. It needed to be double of what it was.
Yeah.
Like I was just thinking too big, and I think I didn't give it enough of a chance to give itself its own rep. Like I'm trying to go too big too fast. Should have started off a lot smaller, but the platform was a good idea, and but yeah, it was literally created just because I needed a place to perform too. Like I found a niche that was not getting met by some people and by the community, and I was like, this is needed here. And
Sure.
so I think if it was to be done redo, I'd do it a lot more meticulously and a lot slower in terms of like letting it sort of build up itself. But it was good. It was definitely good. Yeah, so that was back in about a couple years ago, and then before that, I did the landscaping company out in Calgary, just doing sod, man, laying out that grass, and I knew it was cheap to buy, easy to lay, but all the tools and stuff once again just weighing over my head.
Sure.
But learning lessons, man. It's good.
Absolutely.
Good.
By the way, you said yo that earlier. Did you work at Cactus Club?
No, I've worked at since I was 18. I've worked with Joey Restaurants.
Oh, that's okay.
So
That's
I worked
it.
4 years at Joey Chinook, 2 years at Joey Kelowna, and now I'm at Joey Berard in Vancouver.
I see.
Been supportive of me, big family, and transferred me wherever I need to go throughout it. So big shout out to Joey Restaurants for supporting this brother through music.
Yo, okay, I'm going to just tell you something real quick.
Yeah.
I've been a vegetarian from 12 to basically this year. I quit earlier this year because I had no good reason to be vegetarian anymore. But see, what I loved burgers growing up, and so I'd give every single place at least one chance with their veggie burgers. A lot of misses, a lot of shit burgers out there, but like Joey's hands down has the best veggie burger ever.
Yo, people. It's hard to tell people that too when I'm serving them. They're like, "Is your veggie burger good?" I'm like, trust, not just being biased because I work here, but like it is damn good. Even for like non-veggie burger eaters, you have this, it's delicious.
Genuinely. See, the thing about it that makes it so interesting for me is that the patty isn't just made out of black beans, which can get boring, or just portobello mushrooms, which can weird some people out, you know?
Yeah.
I'm fine with both. But what I like about Joey's a lot is that it's got so much variety and flavor and texture
100%.
in the patty in itself. And then what they do to enhance sort of like the experience that you have is that they put in also not just like your regular lettuce, tomato, blah, 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 but they put additional stuff like sprouts.
Yeah.
Sprouts in it makes it a much more of like a varied experience for me.
Yeah,
and I really like it for that.
Avocado cheese, like a Monterey Jack cheese, it's nice.
Exactly. It can get a little messy, but it's a genuinely like on
Perfect.
point burger.
Much love.
I still eat that shit, and I'm not even vegetarian anymore. That's how good it is.
I appreciate that, man. I do agree with you. No, Joey's has been such a big point in my life. It shaped me as a man growing up. Like I've been through like from 18 years old, moving into being legal in Calgary. And being in the service industry since then, and like it's supported me through all my changes in my life and everything I've done, and then to now it's literally financed my life for the past 7 years. Like it's been crazy, and I'm so thankful for them and the people I've met through that, and it gives me an opportunity. Like nowadays, like with my music, best way to market myself now. People are like, "What are you doing out here in Van?" I'm doing music. They're like, "Oh crap!" Like no joke, I probably get. Like I get love all the time from just my tables, and they're like, "Where can I check you out?" I'm like, "Go check out the Instagram, check out the iTunes." Like I probably get 4 or 5 a night just from the people I'm serving, just connecting with them, and like it's cool, and that's true connection. That's not just and that's what I'm all about for sure.
Hell yeah, man, that's awesome.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah.
By the way, I like wondering about this for people that I interview. I haven't asked this very much, but what do you listen to? Do you listen to very much music outside of rap music?
Yeah, 100%.
What do you listen to?
Like for me, my dad was a big rock star. Like he loved rock music, and that's what he did. But I never really got into much of rock. Like
Sure.
I definitely love like AC/DC, Nirvana, Kiss, like growing up, all those things. But like I was like a big like Frank Sinatra fan.
Oh, okay.
I liked I don't know, like if you think people like Leon Bridges, like that soulful.
Leon Bridges is dope.
Yeah, those type of voices are just so. Like I just listen to it and I can just melt and I can be a part of it, and like so people like that. If you're a good singer, fuck, I love it. Like it doesn't matter to me if you can connect with me and I can hear your emotion in it. Any music's good for me.
Yeah.
Not a country fan. I can't get back on that. I don't know. Calgary tainted me.
Hey, it is what it is, man.
It is, but yeah. Other than that, though, like music for me has been a lot. I love, and it depends what mood you're in too, right?
Sure.
100%. Yeah. But also, like, something I wanted to cool is like when I got to Joey's, when I first moved there 9 months ago, there's this girl by the name of Nicole Droder, and she was just bartending, or she was just serving at the time. And I was telling her I was in music and all this stuff, and she's a dancer, and she's like, hey, yo, like, I have two people I want you to meet.
Yeah, okay.
And one of them was this girl by the name of Maya Ritchie, and this creative and just inspiring woman. She's just so amazing at what she does, and she helped co-direct along with Kumar Burke, KB Cuts.
Hey, shout out.
Yeah, big shout out to this guy. They did my music video Summertime out in Van. They came out and showed face, and they like, obviously, you know his work. He is so good at what he does, and
Kumar is amazing at what he does.
I cannot thank him enough for putting me on the map like that with that video. It was so nice, so nice.
Yeah.
And just good guy too, honestly.
Oh yeah,
honestly,
nicest guy ever.
And so yeah, I got connected with Maya through Nicole, and then also the biggest hookup of probably me moving out there, she hooked me up with Malik, aka Malachi Motion, and Malachi Motion did my whole mixing and mastering and recording for my first album, and then I trying to strictly just get his beats off him and do my new music off that. So I'm a good buddy of mine, and he is a talented individual. So definitely blessed to get those two connections when I first started, and it's sort of just snowballed into what I'm doing right now. So
dope.
And then yeah, Malachi's out of Paranoid Sound Studios in Port Moody, so that's where I head down to, and that's where we go mix and do our thing.
Cool, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome.
Yeah. What do you have coming up for music now? Like, what do you got any time frame for like a new album or a mixtape in the next year?
My goals for 2019 is I have two more goals for performances. I'm kind of like, so big artists I look up to, and big ups is to Tion Gibbs. He's just he's a guy that grinds harder than anybody, and he's got a good work ethic, and he's got a good head on his shoulders, and his music is absolute fire. And so I try to support him as much as possible. Go out and watch, and I've two places that I want to perform where he's performed is probably my goals for 2019 is, first off, Guilt & Co. Guilt & Co. in Vancouver is been famous. It's been around for a long time, and it's kind of like it gives these old school like jazz underground hip hop club, and the presence is good. The stage is nice, and the vibes it gives is incredible. So I would love to perform there, and as well as Fortune Sound Club.
Yeah, it's classic.
Classic, right? It's iconic. So my goals for this year is, obviously I'm performing at Biltmore Cabaret, which is an iconic place, Guilt & Co. and Fortune Sound. I want to get at least 2 more singles out, working out on one right now. And then another one, try to do that Rust vibe for a little bit, just so I can show consistency in my music. And I've also know that even when artists right now drop albums, some of the big time artists, they drop a full album, I'll still only listen to 4 tracks. So it's like how much, like, I drop an 8-track album, how many people are actually listening to the whole thing, and like the validity of what I could get in one track could be the same as an album, right? Just keep out dropping one at a time right now and get the traction through that. People will listen to it, they'll bang it by itself, and then hopefully by New Year's next year, so a year from now, hopefully I have my next album coming out.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So that's what I'm looking for.
So like closer to a 2020 release.
2020 release, exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
A few singles in between, and then hopefully that will come with some new visuals. I'm gonna do a few little things. Have you know B Dice? You ever heard of B Dice?
No.
B Dice is a Vancouver-based artist, very talented as well. But he did this thing called the Daily 16.
Okay.
Where him in his studio just put a camera up, and he just did 16 bars quickly for the camera that were just fire, posted them up, and it's just like something like that. Like,
sure.
I learned from Malik that it doesn't always need to be a big professional production to get videos out for people, and something so simple could still be so impactful as well.
100%. Yeah.
So I think with my album, I'm going to do a few big videos, but until then, I'm just going to drop little snippets here and there. Try to work on releasing those singles, and then have a big release for 2020.
Yeah. You know what I think is a really underrated venture that a lot of people, I think, should get into?
What is that?
I think the meme game is like really...
If you want to bring it back.
No, listen, man. I think the meme game is like huge in music right now. Like,
really?
Like, think about it, man. Think about it. Like, think about all the memes that were created from Tekashi 6ix9ine.
Absolutely. Tons.
Think about all the memes created from Kodak Black. Like, I'm a suburban, like that kind of shit. Or
yeah. Okay,
memes are like the way to be, dude. Like, frankly, if you want to do marketing, memes are the way to be.
Okay.
Think about, like, for example, the whole Soulja Boy wanting to release his own console. Like, come on.
Hilarious.
Like, when was the last time you bumped a Soulja Boy single?
No, it's been a minute.
But we're still talking about him because of that console, right?
Straight up. Okay, I see you.
So
definitely something to think about.
You better come up with some fire memes,
yeah,
bro.
2019's got memes coming from SwayzeAck. That's the new thing. Yeah.
Oh, that would be so sick.
Hilarious.
I would genuinely love that.
Oh, gotta look into that. That's good stuff.
Yeah.
Memes 2019. Change the marketing game.
Yeah.
Change the marketing game.
Are you into that? Are you into the meme culture?
To be honest, not really. Not really. I love watching them, but my mind doesn't work like that.
Okay.
Like I think if I was like, he never like. I see like my graphic designer, shout out Fox Graphics. Lindsay McLaughlin has been doing all my album covers and all that stuff, and she was just dabbling in the meme game for the service industry recently. She had some funny ones that were pretty good. So you never know. I could collab with her on some of that stuff. That'd be cool. Yeah,
this year's memes I genuinely think were fire. Like
Hilarious.
They were so insane. Like 2016 and 2018 were sick. 2017 was a little bit of a miss, but this year was insane.
I didn't know the meme culture was that big, that there was like years that they missed and like hit. And
well, no, like for me,
personally,
just my perception, like 2016 was insane. Like that's when the Arthur memes and SpongeBob memes came through. Like, like Twitter like is the fucking best social media platform. Here's my thing, man. Like Canadian social media, in terms like it is so underrated on Twitter, at least in like this part of the world. For me, like Western Canada, like Twitter, like I must be missing something because like I don't know of anybody that's like consistently on Twitter that's like doing the thing, except for like Tion Gibbs and Postmodern Connection, and that's it. But yeah, man, like memes and Twitter, man, like that's how we would catch up to what the Americans are doing, and I think that's what's up.
Okay.
Yeah, that's okay. Because it creates like this dialogue of just, there's a lot more transparency between, like people on Twitter, because it's just so easy and quick, just having 240 or 280 characters that you get to just communicate with people and share whatever you want, gifts, and it's completely uncensored. You can get people's straight thoughts to it so fucking quick. That's the way to be, man, in my opinion. Like Instagram is like a great hub, and honestly, Facebook is underrated too, but Twitter is what's up, genuinely.
I gotta get on that game because I'm not on the Twitter game at all. Yeah, I gotta definitely think. And it's funny too, like even when I start connecting with like even my marketing group and like my booking agency, they always ask for my Twitter link, and I'm like, well, what about my Instagram? Like, they're like, Facebook, Twitter. I'm like, what about, I don't got like my Instagram game is like where I market most of my stuff from right now, and nothing on Twitter. And then Facebook, like I definitely cross post, but Facebook's got no traction. It should, like that's a great platform I need to be a part of for sure.
Yo, how many people do you think are on Facebook still?
Everyone in the world, man.
Yeah, anybody between like 20 and 50 and higher. Dude, there's so much traction there, and video content on Facebook is the way to be, man.
Okay.
Just saying.
No, 100%. I'm still learning. I'm still early in the game. It's definitely things like big news for me too coming up this year, which has kind of been on the down low for a long time, is I actually got accepted into music school starting January.
Oh shit! Yeah. Congratulations, man.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. Nimbus School for Recording and Media has been a big hub for music over the past 12, 13 years in Vancouver, and they've never accepted a hip hop artist into artist development. And so I get blessed to be the first ever hip hop artist to be accepted into, hopefully making myself into a business and branding myself properly and learning about properly working in the studio, learning about and stage presence, all that stuff. And I get an even bigger blessing. I think it's called Little Light Studio or something in Vancouver. It's a famous studio where like Nirvana's recorded, Kiss recorded, the whole shebang. And I get to be in school in that room.
Cool.
Monday to Friday, 5 days a week for 4 months, and it's just gonna be. Yeah, excited to collab with a lot of students in there, a lot of producers come out of that place, and being able to work be surrounded in a community of music for 4 months, it's going to be hopefully the biggest blessing ever. So
Yo, that sounds like the best time ever.
yeah, I cannot wait. I cannot wait. So that's gonna be the thing, because like that's another thing. Like I was talking about earlier with you, I got pushed in the sports game growing up. I did a lot of sports and all that stuff. It wasn't until I was 18, so I never like did music class. So I never was surrounding myself with a lot of people in music. I surrounded myself with a lot of friends that were in sports, and like we were outside all the time. So it's like my passion, what I'm good at, is writing and performing. That's me. And so when it comes to the logistics of all this, like it goes over my head. Like I pay people to do that. Like that's my vibe right now. So it's gonna be cool to learn a little bit more about music theory and music writing and all that stuff, and sort of give myself a little bit better of a base. But 2019 is gonna be big. I can't wait.
Dope. It's a wonderful journey to be on, man. Like
Straight up.
I've been doing music my entire life, and so I know the process is really exhilarating, and it's really fulfilling when it comes to like listening to other music, because after you've gained that perspective, you'll start to really appreciate things that you may have not heard before.
Straight up.
So it's really cool for that.
Yeah, no, and he was talking too, like when I had to perform in front of like the directors of education to like see if I was gonna make it into this arts development. And a lot of things they said is that through this course, there's some things that they're probably 20%, 15% of it is not going to be directed towards hip hop. It's going to be directed to more like music writing and all that stuff, and like singers, songwriters, and they're like, "Are you going to be okay with that?" I'm like, "Of course." Like I got to learn a different like I strictly do rap, but like I would love to learn how to do melodies, maybe courses, and like learn the theory behind the Beatles and all that stuff in music, and get that sort of like that education. Like that's nothing but positive to me.
Have you tried singing before?
Definitely, I like to sing along with to songs, stuff like that. You know, belt in my shower, in the car. Like definitely like to blare. My dad has a great singing voice. Do I think I could access, like really give it to it? Yes, but my nerves hold me back a lot. Like my confidence in my singing voice is not there, and so it's like I think I need to definitely work on breathing and sort of techniques. Probably get a little bit of lessons in that, but I think one day.
Well, can I give you some advice?
I would love to hear it.
Just be honest with yourself. Record yourself and listen to the first time. You're going to hate it.
Yeah.
Do it again. You'll probably still hate it, but just keep on going and find those little things that you don't like and improve. Just improve something. Just be like, oh, I think holding a note could be better. Then I'll try holding a note for a little longer. Or I think I was a little off pitch here. Let me try correcting that pitch. You know what I mean?
Very cool.
Be honest with yourself, because if you want to be a good and better musician / singer, you have to be honest with yourself. That self-awareness is key.
I appreciate that. That's definitely true. And like that, another thing too that I can't wait is that like me being in my own place now in Vancouver and sort of having my own hub, slowly making that at-home studio too, so I can just sort of sit down and fuck around with everything and work into it too. Like, so definitely excited for that. And I do know I want to be able to do my courses a little bit, like be able to do a little melodies and stuff like that. And so definitely all the advice and techniques. Definitely probably talk to you more about it afterwards as well.
Sure, man. No
100%.
problem. Great. Sweet. I don't really necessarily have very much else that I have in mind to ask you. Is there anything that you wanted to sort of state out to the world, let the people know about?
No, I think I just want to like say thank you for, first of all, for everyone that does support me. Like I think as a new person coming up in the game and doing me, I think my fans and the people that do support me see that this isn't just because I'm not just doing rap to do rap. Like this is my outlet of expression, and I'm not here to try to prove to you anything or try to be anyone different or any special or be the next Kanye. I'm just trying to be the first Dylan, you know, like trying to do my thing. And the love and support I get shown on a daily basis is it makes my heart full. So just big shout out to everyone that's out there and that constantly shows me love. So yeah, really appreciate it.
Sure, man. That's awesome. Do you have any questions for me at all?
Nah, man. I'm sitting in the studio right here, and you got a whole bunch of guitars, and you got obviously you've been playing guitar. How long have you been doing that for?
Over a decade.
Decade, eh?
Yeah, I've been doing it for quite a while.
And you producing a lot too?
Yeah, man. I actually dropped an album with my band called Stay Lush. It was a absolutely. I did a series of albums that were purely for therapeutic reasons for myself. Cool. The first album was amazing. It was about this situation that I had. It was basically me overcoming a situation that I had that basically was really fucked. So me just sort of like powering through that, and then I released Stay Lush, was sort of a second part of that first album, which essentially deals with everything else that came afterwards and before it. So nice. It's on Spotify and whatnot. It's called Stay Lush, sure. Or even if you go on a YouTube and you type in Stay Lush, it'll literally be the first thing that comes up.
100%.
But yeah, man, I've been doing music for like over a decade, man. I've known I wanted to do that shit ever since I was like a kid, for as long as I can remember.
Awesome,
and when it comes to like doing music, I do it for myself because it's super fucking fun. I love everything about music, man. So all these guitars except for this black one are all mine.
Dope, man.
So
Good for you. Good for
I
you.
love doing it, man. It's a lot of fun and it's really fulfilling. There's something incredibly wonderful and like transcendental from just like this physical experience of life. I think music is a really beautiful thing.
Yeah, and you know what? It creates a community, man. Like I've never felt like, have you ever heard of Maslow's hierarchy of needs?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, like I feel like the sense of like obviously security and shelter being like number one, and then the sense of community, and then success, and then self-awareness. But like what music gives me is that sense of community. I always feel like I'm part of something. Like there's like, as soon as I find out someone's doing music or doing whatever their vibe is, I feel like right away I have this connection that's stronger than just being like, hey, oh, you like blue, I like blue too. Like it's like the community that backs music is something, because like first of all, the emotion music creates is so raw within yourself. So music is it's like your true love growing up and all that stuff. You just love everything about it. So then when you can relate to someone else that's just as passionate and does the exact same thing, I feel like it can create such a vibe and comfort. Like here I am with you, just met you like over an hour ago, and I feel like right away we're connecting more than I talk to some people that I've known for a long time, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just the vibe of it, and that was a big thing Elevate was all about. It's like community creates culture, and here we are for the Culture Canada, baby. This is what we're doing.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Big shout out to that for sure.
Thank you.
Of course, brother.
Yeah, no, it's no, I'm really happy to be doing this. You know, I think it's really cool to have somebody. I obviously like you're very interconnected between the, you know, in the scene here. I know you like to get out there and really like show your support and appreciation. You are supporting Postmodern Connections' latest post about their new music video Memories that is about to come out. And so I see that you're a part of it, and I'm glad to have you a part of this because you're such a staple in it right now.
Appreciate that.
I appreciate you, man. It's great. It's a great time here.
No, for sure. I feel like, and when it comes to support too, is that people think like, especially this is something I'm very passionate about, is that why show up for other people is obviously without, like, you're gonna have people that are gonna be your fans for sure, but the people that should be coming out to these events or whatever you're doing should be other people that want people to come out to their events. So what it is this community. This like I scratch your back, you're scratching my back. Obviously go to the people you support and you love and everything like that, but I do it because even regardless of if it's gonna cost me some money or whatever, it's that I know going there is going to help build the community of support, and supporting someone doing what they love is what you should be putting your money in anyways. I'll go to anyone that's doing like their shows. Like Postmodern Connection was like Tega, I've known for a while when I was first doing my Elevate, and like I connected with him quite a bit, and it's cool to see the transition and what they're doing, and like if I could support them any way through, I would love to. And like, and same with Rare Breed Culture. Like I've known Kamishon and Gal for like ever, and like and Jordan Brogio and Cam Brogio and the whole boys from BNA, and like just that's a family that started, and they're doing it right. They're vlogging every day, and like. Me posting, me doing all that stuff is because I want them to be just as successful as I want to be, and I know that they're going to support me just as much as I'm going to support them. And so it creates this by just stepping outside your comfort zone, because a lot of people are selfish these days, man. Like I'm telling you how many times people have asked me to show up for something for them, and I go and do it because I want to support the community, and then that's it. It was just a selfish thing, and like they don't care about nothing else. And it's like these people that I post about and everything is I post it because they give back, man. They're just as supportive as I am, and so
sure,
I'll fuck with them to the end. Like I think that's cool, man.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the thing about it too is though that like I think that genuine kindness is being able to do it for somebody and not expect anything back. You know what I mean?
100%.
Because the thing about it is, when you don't expect anything back, there's no expectation to be reached that'll otherwise get disappointed, you know?
100%.
When it comes to just doing it, you just do it for the sake of the love of it, not necessarily that you'll get it back, because, you know, because nobody's entitled to anything. There's no entitlement to anything.
And no one owes you
So,
anything.
yeah, exactly. So just doing it for the sake of the love of it, I think, is much more important.
And that's what I'm trying to say is that, like, they came out for me and supported me at the start with no expectation of coming back. Like, they didn't say, like, come out. So I'm showing my support for the thanks and everything, because, like, I truly do support them, and they've backed me and my company Elevate when I first started, Rare Breed and all those boys. They came out, they showed up. Like, you know how hard it was to try to, me at that time, 23 years old, talking to artists that have never seen me before, being like, hey, like, I got this company, like, I want you to come down and perform, and they're just like, who the hell is this kid? And like, these guys just backed me without anything. And so it's like, I'll forever in my heart feel that I'll support them to the day I die. Like, that's and watching them grow is everything to me. It's so cool.
Sure.
So cool.
Yeah.
So I guess I meant in the terms of it's they did it for not asking for anything back. Now it's my turn to give back.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, dope. Awesome, man. Where can people find your music, and what are your plugs for the social media game?
Yeah, so you can find it at Spotify, iTunes, Tidal, Google Play, the whole shebang for streaming platforms.
How do you spell SwayzeAck?
It's SwayzeAck, SwayzeAck, and you can go at SwayzeAck on Instagram. Yeah, iTunes, Spotify, the whole shebang.
Dope.
Yeah, man.
Dope.
Definitely.
Cool, man.
Definitely.
Great. Any last words?
No, man, just once again, thanks for the hospitality, and I really appreciate you doing this. This is going to be, I like to be even sort of the start of the wave here. I'm sure you're going to have some, as the time goes on, some big people come through this place, man, and you're going to start talking to some really big...
We'll see, man.
Yeah, see where it goes.
The world can be a really strange place. We'll see what happens.
100%. You never know. But
But
really
thank you.
This.
Thank you for coming by. I appreciate your time.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Of course.
And thank you to all the listeners. We really, really appreciate your time. Make sure that you check out Dylan's music at SwayzeAck on iTunes, Spotify, Tidal, whatever your choice may be. And make sure that you also follow us at For the Culture Canada on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, on Anchor, and everywhere. And make sure that if you do follow us on the Apple Podcasts app, leave a nice thank you. We would really, really appreciate that. Or just leave a nice review, or just, you know, give us 5 stars and let us know that we're doing a good job, because that helps the show out so much. We already got like 14 reviews, and oh my god, like, seeing those reviews, it just makes me it makes me want to melt. It's so amazing. Thank you so much for all that. And make sure that you follow us at For the Culture Canada on Facebook and on Instagram. I know I was talking about Twitter and all that stuff. I actually do have a Twitter account, but like, I'm having some like issues with that, so I'm getting that sorted. And please let me know what you think of the show. Please come out to the shows that do get put on by Kelowna Concerts and all those other people as well, because
support local.
Exactly. It makes our community thrive, and when they win, we all win. So anyway, thank you so much for listening. Have a great day, y'all.
Much love.
Everything about my life I love. Always with my crew, no plugs. Like an angel that was sent from above. My family, my friends got my back, one love. Everybody supporting me from the start as they watch me go for the glory. Just follow my story. Walking around with the goose, say you know it's a 40. Everybody wanna see me succeed, so you know I can't fail. No energy was ever given to the postman with the hate mail. No mail, please. Cups up, I got the holy grail. If I fall, I always prevail. Start a war, yeah, I'll go full scale.